Well, hi, everybody. Let's try this again. Hopefully that will work a little better. I just want to put the notification up on Facebook. Just bear with me 1 second and I will do that and we can start. Here we go. I hate it when it does this, but there's not much I can do, unfortunately. Just let me change it on the Twitter and on Facebook, and then we can get started. Just bear with me, nearly there. Okay. Facebook and Twitter. Nearly there. Okay. Well, hi, Jody. This is DearMamaSal, and we are live on a Sunday afternoon, which means it's Soul Sunday. It's just one of those things, sometimes when it launches, it tells me that, for some reason the chat is not working properly. And so it's a waste of time. It's way too much work for you, Jody, for me to ask you to keep me in touch with that. Hi, Isabel. Good to see you. So for those of you who don't know, Jody is our admin and does a wonderful job at it. Jody, there's the bread that I made. And just so you know that. Okay, so welcome to anybody who might be watching and lurking in the shadows there. We're always delighted to have people join us. If you want to join in the chat, please be aware that whatever you type, I may talk about. And if I talk about it, it's going to stay on the video when it goes up on release for the replay. So just be aware of that. If you're new, please introduce yourself and let us know. And by the way, if you're watching this on the replay, feel free to leave any comments or whatever. I always look at them, and I do everything I can to respond to them as well. So today I thought we would talk about hope a little bit more. It has been a very difficult week for a lot of people. Things are definitely just, as I said to, I think, Jody or somebody that within the DearMamaSal family, I said, the thing that people are going to have a difficulty understanding, I believe, is we're at the very, very beginning of this pandemic. And so what we need to do is to stay safe and do all the right things and protect ourselves as best we can, and also hope for a better future. And when I say hope for a better future, it's really important that you do not lose hope. And I know it's getting really scary, and there are a lot of issues going on at the moment that could make it even more scary. So what I want you to do is just to relax and just take each day and make each day the best you possibly can, because let's be honest, we don't know if it is our last day, and that doesn't mean about a pandemic. It could be for 1,001 reasons. So I put up a quote on the DearMamaSal Facebook page. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed, please do, just here. And if you enjoy the broadcast, please give it a thumbs up. But the other thing is hit the bell, and the bell will let you know if I'm going to do a quick video during the week or something. Follow us on Facebook, because that's where the extended family of DearMamaSal people, that's where I update you on who's not doing well or who is doing well, and we do both congratulations and sadness. Hi, Beth. Good to see you. I hope you've got a day off today, Beth. And so just be aware that if you follow us on Facebook, you'll get updates about the other people, and it'll maybe give you some encouragement. And also on Twitter, because I always put up a warning on both Facebook and Twitter just before I broadcast. Dear Mama Sal is all about helping you cope with love life and other problems. And, I cannot think of a better time for us to support one another than during this pandemic. And Beth, who's just joined us, is one of our viewers who actually went through COVID before they realized what it was. And Beth, why are you always our guinea pig? It just is amazing to me. But we are so glad that you're okay. So here I am saying to Beth, I hope you had a day off. And she said, I just worked 10 hours at my main job and another 2 cleaning the building. Yeah, the building. So yeah, it's Beth. Let's start the quotes. And what I'd like you to do is, if these quotes resonate with you at all, just give me some feedback as what it triggered for you. And we will talk about it as we can. Beth is saying, you're always in my bathroom with me. I know what you mean, Beth. You know something, Beth? You'll be surprised how often you're in my bathroom with me. And I've got a really neat trick that I'm going to be putting up next week. I found something and I thought, oh, Beth is going to love this. If she probably already knows. All right, here we go. The quote is from Brad Henry. And it is, a good teacher can inspire hope, ignite the imagination, and instill a love of learning. How many of you had that teacher? And, can you remember that teacher's name? And did that teacher fill you full of hope? I want to tell you that without a doubt, the teacher that I remember was called Mrs. Hobbs. She's obviously long gone by now. But Mrs. Hobbs was both our drama and our craft type, dressmaking and stuff like that teacher. She was multifaceted. But I always remember her taking me aside one day. I've told the story about my painting, my painting journey with her. But I do remember her taking me aside one day and saying, Sal, I'm not worried about you in your future. I know that you will always do whatever it takes to do whatever it is you want to do. And I said, really? And she said, yes. With who you are and the talents you have, you will always land on your feet as long as you remember to keep moving forward and have hope. So I always remembered that, which is whatever's happening to me, that's just today. Tomorrow's another day, and let me start again, or let me get well and start again, or let me get as best as I can be and keep going. And so I want you to remember that teacher, whoever it was in your life, and maybe it was a mentor. Some of you have got mentors, and they inspire you and they give you hope. And if that is true, then remember to pay that forward and be that person for somebody else. And just take a moment and relax. Just breathe in deeply and relax. And there's part of me that goes, maybe just roll your shoulders a bit. Hi, Jeannie, good to see you. Just roll your shoulders a bit, to the back, and loosen up your shoulder muscles. There's been a lot of stress this week, right? And then roll them forward as well. Everybody should be able to do this. Maybe if Erin's listening, that might be difficult for her, but everybody else, I think, can use their shoulders, all right? So just roll them back again. Just relax. Good. Now, I always find it difficult getting my head to one side and then getting it to the other side. I can really feel it. But relaxing is really such an important part of our life. And I just want to give you a heads up and let you know that I could get a telephone call that I need to answer in the middle of this. And the reason is because I'm getting some groceries delivered and I need to let them know it's okay to deliver. Michelle Obama said, "You may not always have a comfortable life, and you will not always be able to solve all the world's problems." Well, not at once. But don't ever underestimate the importance you can have, because history has shown us that courage can be contagious and hope can take on a life of its own. You know, I'm seeing Jeannie in the room, and I keep thinking, Jeannie, for those of you who don't know, Jeannie's house burnt down, a month ago now, Jeannie? Can't be much more than that. And she lost everything, just like in a heartbeat. 1 minute, it was a regular day, and the next minute, devastation and terror and trying to get, herself, her husband, and her dog out of a burning house. And yet she has managed to find some level of peace. And hi, Sandy, good to see you. You carry on cooking. We'll just carry on talking to you, Sandy. How's that? Don't burn it and blame it on me. Hi, Erin. Good to see you. And so, it takes great courage to start again when your whole life has been devastated in a heartbeat. It happened on May the 31st. Yes, so it's less than a month. And did you get you'll hear on Monday, right, whether you got the apartment that you're looking for. And we all have our thoughts and prayers for you that if it's meant to be for you, may it happen. And if it's not meant for you, then it won't happen. Okay, just know it's not a good or a bad. It's just like, you remember all that house hunting I did and how many things fell through and how many times my house didn't sell? It was all with a good reason. Winston Churchill said, "All the great things are simple. And many of them can be expressed in a single word. Freedom, justice, honor, duty, mercy, hope." I don't know about you, but when I hear those words, they touch my soul. And I wonder which one was touching yours today. I'll read them again. Freedom, justice, honor, duty, mercy, and hope. I wonder what it is that you would like the freedom to do this week. Think about that. What would you like the freedom to do this week? And our lives get so busy, we don't make the time for the things we want to do. And don't end your days saying, "Oh, I wish I'd taken the time to," whatever. And so keep your life in balance wherever you can. Justice. Where do you know that there's some injustice going on and that you maybe can help somebody get justice? Or maybe you need to do something to get justice for yourself. Honor. Who do you need to honor? And why? Make sure you let them know. Duty. What is it you need to do and you've been procrastinating about that you could do this week if you just decided to do it? Mercy. I keep wondering whether the greatest mercy we can give this week is to ourselves. How many of you spend your life beating up on yourself? I'm not doing it fast enough. I'm not doing it well enough. I was having a wonderful conversation with somebody yesterday, and I was saying to them that, not everybody learns at the same speed. Everybody's going at their own special pace. And if we only help the people that go at our pace, then that would be really sad. Because I do believe it is part of our job to help people learn at their own speed. And that means we may have to repeat things many, many times. It means that we may need to give them the benefit of the doubt many, many times. But they will learn. And sometimes we need to teach them by tough love, and letting them go and let them realize on their own the value of what they had. And then maybe they will come back a different person. Who knows? But most of all, have hope. I don't care whether your house burnt down or, as in Jodi's case, she's had a really difficult week with pain. And Erin, I don't know what's going on for you this week, but I'm certain that, that you also understand the value of hope. Erin's saying honor and hope hit her. I need you to know that sometimes the greatest peace we can give ourselves, and for those of you who are God-fearing, and I know a lot of my viewers are, but sometimes the greatest peace you can give yourself is that moment of prayer. To take the time to do the things that you need to do, which is to say a prayer, to reground yourself in faith or whatever it is that you believe. I really am not concerned about who you believe in, but if you are a believer of any sort in anything, and it can be the tooth fairy for all I care, make sure that you take that moment to get in touch, because it will help your hope. It also, from, I think, everybody's experience, and I certainly would like some feedback from those of you who suffer from pain, I believe that prayer can do an incredible amount to ease somebody's pain. Okay, Jeannie's saying some close relatives want to visit with social distancing. York and I do not want to do this yet, especially when these folks can come into contact with so many people. I want to tell you something, Jeannie. I think your comment, we intend to say no, is very much self-care. And whatever you do, if you do end up visiting, make sure it's outside, make sure that you insist on social distancing, because you don't want to put anybody's life on the line. What they want to do. Now, the other thing is this. Anybody who wants to visit me, I go, sure, let's do it digitally. Let's plan a time and we'll have coffee together. And that's what I do. I've been doing that with my friends. I say, okay, fine. I'll meet you on Facebook Messenger. I'll phone you at this time and we'll have coffee together. And the funniest thing, Marnie and I do that every week now. And what I think is going to be a 5-minute conversation or maybe half an hour always ends up an hour and a half. We get so into it. We forget that we are not sitting beside each other. It's like, it doesn't matter. We are just there. And we are just chatting as we normally would. And by the way, if we were sitting having lunch, it would be at least an hour and a half, because we get into it in a big way. And by the way, I'm really looking forward to hear how her weekend was. She went actually camping, socially distant camping, in her RV this weekend. So I hope she had a good time. And so, Erin, honor and hope. Yeah. And it's really important every week, to connect with whatever word it is and keep moving forward. I heard a wonderful story. I spoke with Benji for a while yesterday. And I heard wonderful stories of how he and Judy individually coped with that roller coaster of, oh my gosh, look at that. It's baby Leah. Here she is. And the next thing, literally people handing baby Leah to Benji and rushing Judy out to OR. And I was saying, the absolute roller coaster of emotion that went into that. And Benji didn't hear what was going on for half an hour. Can you imagine that, right? So really scary stuff. But one of the things that he said was that they both coped with prayer. Right? Benji thought to phone a mentor of his, and I spoke with him as well on text, but that is a minister, and to pray with him, which I thought was really clever. And Judy, apparently, while she was in OR, said that she did the same thing. That was the only thing she had control over, was to pray. And, the most amazing thing is that I stand in awe of that woman. I really do. She gave birth, she gets rushed into OR, she comes back, she gets to go home. The next thing, she's back into the hospital with baby Leah with jaundice. And all the time, she is busy making content, editing videos, doing everything as normal. How does she do that? I don't know about you, but there are days when I look at her and think, I'm not sure if she's from this planet. Jonas Salk said, hope lies in dreams, in imagination, and in the courage of those who dare to make their dreams reality. I'm pretty sure that Jeannie is busy dreaming her new house right now. And Jeannie, perhaps you can tell us, do you get to design this new house of yours? And if so, what are you going to change from the house you had to the house that will be rebuilt? I'd be really interested, have you sat down and said, well, the kitchen was never big enough for me? Or, boy, I could really have done with a bigger bathroom, Or we didn't really need 5 bedrooms, whatever it was. I don't know how many bedrooms you had, honey, but you understand what is it that will change in the construction of your new home versus the old one? How will it be better suited to you and York? Because, boy, look at that, you get to build your new house. Interesting. Yes, Jeannie says, but we really liked it the way it was. Isn't that wonderful? So really, you wouldn't necessarily change anything. Just rebuild what was there. But we'd like the guest bedroom a little larger. Good, that means something else may need to be... will they be able to rebuild on the foundations? Or will they rebuild the foundations as well, do you think? I don't know enough about construction. Yeah, and I'm certain that your dreams are how you would, and are you busy already going and having a look at new appliances? It's just like, how much fun could that be? And by the way, when I saw this oven, this looked like a top-of-the-line oven to me when I first saw it, and till I got here, and it doesn't have a food timer on it. I can't set something cooking and tell it to turn itself off in an hour. It's amazing. I'm not used to that. I'm also not used to only having sort of one level of oven, a dirty, great big one. I actually use this as cold storage for my potatoes and stuff, because really I refuse to turn on something that consumes that much electricity. I do it in my toaster oven or in my halogen. And I was wondering if any of you'd like me to see me do some more stuff with my halogen this year as we go into the winter months. Yes, I do, Beth, that I do use don't let me use her name, because she responds to me. Seriously, Beth. But yes, that woman. I do tell her things. And also, I can't remember what I was doing yesterday. And I'm going, I have no idea how long I should. And I went, let me ask the guru. And I just went, you know the word. How long do I need to cook? Da, 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 da. And boy, in an instant, she came back with, it is recommended that you cook for this many. And I'm going, wow. You know, when we saw this back in the 50s, they when they had a cartoon where these sort of things happened, where you could talk to a machine and it would tell you how to cook, we all laughed and said, yeah, right. And in my lifetime, it happened. It's wonderful. I love it. Mind you, she and I don't talk the same language. I have great difficulty understanding her. I have to sometimes ask her the same question a number of times so that I can understand what she's answering me, because she goes a little bit fast for me. Do any of you find that? Maybe it's because I'm older. Emily Dickinson said, hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without words and never stops at all. Eh? And I think that's so true. It's a thing with feathers that perches on your soul. You can see it sitting there on your soul. And hope is a wonderful thing. Don't ever lose hope. You can lose all sorts of things in your life, but you know, there was one time in my life where I was really desperate and devastated as well. And I was so fortunate that I never lost hope, ever. You know, it just, however close I got to losing hope, I just kept, you know something, what if you woke up tomorrow and everything changed? Would you be sorry that you gave up today? Beth is saying she asks Siri on her phone if I'm beautiful. And she says, yes, Beth, you are beautiful. Have a great day. I think I should ask Alexa, see what she says. Do you think she can see inside and out? Interesting. Jeannie's saying, my daughter calls herself Annie, but I named her Hope. Anne. Yeah. Well, it's kind of you to pray for Jody having her tough pain week. It's, you know, there's not really anything we can do. Jody knows what she needs to do and can do it. And one of the main things is just to rest and, you know, cope as best she can. And we are so grateful that even though she had that week, she still put all those funnies together for us on Friday. I thought it was wonderful. Barbara Kingsolver said that the very least you can do with your life is to figure out what you hope for. And the most you can do is to live inside that hope. Not admire it from a distance, but to live it right in it, under its roof. So let's think for a second. What do you hope for in the coming week? I hope that I will get my swollen feet down more. I definitely hope for that. I hope I can find out why my blood sugar plummets in the afternoons. You know, it's really funny. And I think it may be through no fault of my own. You know, it may be just a weird thing that's happening with the change of the season or something. And I'm sorry that Erin also is in pain. You know, and I know, Erin, you're coming up to, is it July that you have your test done? Jeannie's saying, for those of you who suffer from migraine pain, ever tried biofeedback as a solution? She's saying it helped her a lot. And if you don't know what it is, just Google it a bit. There's a lot of stuff on it. I am a great believer in things that, we can think our way out of pain if we, or at least delay it or minimize it or lessen it just by using our brain. I found it really interesting that I heard from a dog trainer once that, to take a dog out to the dog park and let him run around, sure, exercises them, but it doesn't exercise them the way that training does. Right? When I say training, it's actually training your dog uses more muscles, more brain power, more everything than just letting them play. And so therefore, wherever you can, if you want to exercise your dog, you make sure you're exercising your dog's brain as well as its muscles. Hope can be a powerful force, Leanne Taylor said. Maybe there's no actual magic in it, but when you know what you hope for most and hold it like a light within you, you can make things happen almost like magic. And so I'm definitely going to bite the bullet this week and just take the diuretics I need to take until my legs get back to normal. I have delayed taking them. I have taken some, but obviously, if I want to get rid of this swollen situation, and it is a lot better than it was, but if I want to get rid of it, I need to do what needs to be done, and that is take the diuretics. And I've been eating the bananas, I've been drinking the water, I've been doing all those things, but obviously my body needs some help. And I thought I'd read some quotes. Hi, Nash, good to see. I'd read you some quotes from the Bible because it is Sunday and a lot of you probably are not able to get to church. And I thought some of you might appreciate this. The famous faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. And that obviously comes from Corinthians. And what about, but those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength, and they will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. From Isaiah. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah. To them, God has chosen to make known among the Gentiles the glorious riches of this mystery, which is Christ in you, the hope of glory. Colossians, I find that difficult to say. May the God of hope fill you with all the joy and peace as you trust in him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. It's from Romans. I love that one. I always enjoy that. And again, another one from Corinthians. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. And now these three remain, faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love. And from Job, you will be secure because there is hope. You will look around you and you will take your rest in safety. Now, I'm pretty sure somebody needed one of those quotes. Let me know which one of you needed that. I don't often quote from the Bible, and it's just like today I thought I need to do some quotes from the Bible. Napoleon Bonaparte said, "Courage is like love. Have hope for nourishment." Some of you need some more courage this week. It's interesting, Erin saying she needed to hear those quotes. You know, some of us need a bit more courage this week. And if you had a bit more courage this week, what would you do with it? It's very interesting. And one of my new neighbors here in my community has invited me to their birthday party. And it's on the 4th of July, funnily enough. But the interesting thing, it's going to be a block party outside, and it's going to span 3 driveways. You know, in other words, they're literally having it, you know, in one of the small. Well, hang on a second. I don't know what happened here. Hang on a second. That's really weird. I suddenly said, did you guys hear that? I suddenly set off one of my other tabs. I don't know how I did that. It was miraculously difficult. It's about setting up an API key. Okay, there it is. I've never done that before. How did that happen, I wonder? Anyway, so that they're having this party, and I thought, you know, I don't necessarily want to go to a party, but could I still celebrate her birthday by being sociable? And I went, yeah, I could. I could go over there. I could take my own drink with me so I don't touch anybody else's glass or anything else. I could also take presents with me. I could also partake in, I think they're having hot dogs. I think I could take a hot dog without too much risk. And, you know, it's like I will do what I feel safe in doing, but I won't necessarily be. I'm going to stop doing that with my earbuds. I won't necessarily be, you know, staying for hours and hours. I will just go and be sociable, you know, have a hot dog and then go back. So to me, it's about, can I do it and be safe? I think so. Maya Angelou said, love recognizes no barriers. It jumps hurdles, it leaps fences, it penetrates walls, and to arrive at its destination full of hope. You know, sometimes we have to love who we are, as broken as we are. Sometimes we need to love our lives as difficult as they are. And sometimes we need to just know that it's all okay. We are all going at the right speed, and we are all dealing with our life at the, you know, in the right way. And we are all learning the lessons that we need to learn at the right time. And sure, some of the things that we encounter are difficult, but nobody said life was easy. I am just so grateful that we as a group get to go through it together. It's interesting. Jeannie's saying that, you know, where her house ruins now stand, she's asked her neighbor to water her garden. Yes, so you'd like to make sure that the garden doesn't die as the way the house did. I think that's very good thinking. And that's nice, because the neighbor said that his daughter would water it for her. Not only that, you know, I think it would be very good for you to make sure that the builders are aware what areas not to trample on, or, you know, to make sure they don't ruin your garden, because they won't be thinking about, you know, your peonies or your rose bushes or whatever it is that you've got going. they will be thinking about, let's just dump these bits of wood here, you know. And so maybe part of what you need to do is to cordon off the garden that you want to save that is close to the house so that they can't do that. You know, if you go down the street, you can see where trees are cordoned off so that the builders cannot damage the trees. You know, they normally have that orange netting around them. So it just says, don't get near this tree. It's protected. Jeannie's saying, you should see my sage and rosemary. Yes, my rosemary's doing very well as well. I've also got raised beds, as you know, and I want to tell you, I love them. Yeah, and I think it takes a lot to kill rosemary. You know, we had -12 here, and the rosemary survived, the parsley survived, and the green onion survived. Hi there, Emma. Good to see you. Tom Baudet said, they say a person needs just 3 things to be truly happy in this world: someone to love, something to do, and something to hope for. Now, someone to love, it doesn't have to be romantic love. It doesn't have to be a person, right? How many of you have found great joy in loving your pet? You know, I'm sure that Misty has given Jeannie an incredible amount of love and hope for the future. And, you know, but someone to love, be that a pet or a person. And by the way, it doesn't have to be family, right? It can be somebody that you love to be around. I have a number of people in my life that I just love to talk to them. You know, I really love it. It inspires me. It makes me happy. And something to do. All right. As you know, I am constantly challenging myself to try something new. And it is a peculiar part of my psyche. It's just like, I wonder if that would work. You know, and I'm looking forward to showing you something that I found out yesterday. I literally was doing something, and I don't often do this, I read the instructions on something that I would normally use in a totally different way. When I read the instructions, I saw that it said it was, you know, it was safe on these sort of materials. And I went, really? That means I could take it out of its current environment and go into my kitchen and use it in a totally different way. And I did. That's what I want to show you. So Gustave Flaubert said, love is a springtime plant that perfumes everything with hope and even ruins, and even the ruins to which it clings. Yes, and so I find it interesting. Jeannie's saying York thinks that her garlic will be ready in October. All right? Yeah. So even though the house is destroyed, the garlic survived. So you will get a harvest. I think that's beautiful. The past is a source of knowledge and the future a source of hope. Love of the past implies faith in the future. So some of us have got very difficult pasts. And if we are smart, we won't live there. Some of us are scared of the future. And if we are smart, we won't live there. You see, some of us will just go, oh, it's Sunday. Or in the case of Lauren, if she happens to be around, you know, it's Monday for her, but she's the other end of the world, isn't she? Yeah, the 4th is Erin's daddy's birthday as well. Right, Erin? And we'll make a note of that so that we can say happy birthday to him. Napoleon again. Courage is like love. It must have hope for nourishment. You see, if you don't have hope, you don't have any power to move forward. And if you constantly thinking of all the negative things, you're not going to have any power to move forward. As I have told you many, many times in my life, I don't concentrate on what I can't do. I concentrate on what can I do. What one step can I take that would make this better? And I realize, Jody, as do you, I'm sure, that we're nearly into July and the new freeze arrives in July, I think about mid-July. So that's going to be exciting, isn't it? And you all are going to want to see that. Now, you all know I bought a freezer that is probably way too big for my needs. But then being me, I will share that space with the people who know me. So if they ever see a really good deal that they want to buy, they can buy it and bring it to my house and they can store it. Because that's what I do. All right, so Niasha says, is it wrong to think about or live in the past? I hadn't known that. Niasha, it depends how you live in the past. If you live in the past with great love and laughter, that's healthy. But if you're constantly saying, why did they do this to me? And and it's not fair that I grew up like this, and that's not healthy. It is what it is. And move on. All right. It's time to do what you can with the rest of your life. So I think just my view is that nothing is right or wrong necessarily. But if you live in the past in judgment and hate, or if you live fearing the future, how can you be happy? If you're constantly going, well, I would be a better person if only how can you be a happy person like that? Because you're always blaming somebody else for the reason you're not happy in this moment. My constant wish for you all is for you to see we are as happy as we allow ourselves to be. And boy, if ever there was a time when I saw that in action, it was when I met Erin. When I saw what Erin copes with on a daily basis, the tears welled up in my eyes. And I went, I don't think I would have her courage. I don't mind admitting that. I really didn't think I could live her life. I didn't think that I would be able to cope with the pain and the needs that she has every day. And though I must say that I am so grateful that I got to meet her, because it really changed my perspective on how much I was muttering about my very perfect life. Yeah, Jeannie's saying, I am concentrating on the positives, new appliances, a new home, etc. People have been kind to us. I want to reciprocate. Yes, look forward to that. And she also says, I have bursitis, but I can walk. Yes, and that's why I'm saying, that I've been struggling with edema all week and struggling to walk in some cases, but I can still walk. I have that option. Erin doesn't. We heard an incredible story from Lauren this week where Lauren's mother may need to go into hospital. But then the problem is, who's going to look after Lauren? Because Lauren does need assistance. And I thought, and maybe Jody will agree with me on this one, I thought the interesting thing about Lauren's story was that she needed to admit that she needed help, because she does have the ability to have somebody come in. But when she was talking about it, you could hear that she didn't want to think that she needed people to come in, but she does. And, to get her to realize she might need people to come in 2 or 3 times a day to help her if necessary. and not to be ashamed of that. It's her reality, as it would be for Aaron, right? And so some of us, need to just, I think that's a difficult one as well, to be able to live in reality, right? It's not being, it's not being negative to live in reality. If you need somebody to help you 3 times a day, that's your reality. It's not a negative. And so Jody living in pain is a reality. It's not because she's a wuss. We know better than that. So you know that if Jody is talking about being in pain, it's not your average pain. It's not like, oh, I got a bit of a pain in my joint here. No, she's in really bad pain for her to be talking the word pain. And so to me, I think we've done a wonderful job of supporting one another. Yeah, Jeannie's saying Misty, her dog, has an ACL problem, but it's getting better. Yeah, it takes about 3 months from my experience of ACL problems in a dog. I'm laughing, Jeannie, because I have a memory. I don't think the viewers got to meet Bud. They met Bean Bean, but they didn't get to meet Bud. And Buddy was a cross German Shepherd collie. And he ripped his ACL going down the back stairs in winter on icy steps. And so we, we put him all back together again, and we had him. Yvonne did a wonderful job because he couldn't go up and down steps. And so Yvonne looked after him for 3 months for me. And when I say she looked after him, but she kept him downstairs and did that. And then the most incredible thing was that the next winter, on the same week, I think it was the first week in November or something, guess what? He did it again. And I just went, wow, you must really want to go and stay with Yvonne again. So, after that, I, it was just like, you are not going down the back stairs. If you want to go out, we're going to have to find another way because that's getting to be very expensive. Susan Griffin said, the hope you feel when you're in love is not necessarily for anything in particular. Love brings something inside you to life. Perhaps it's the full dimensionality of your own capacity to feel that return. I've always said that I'm not in love with you. I'm in love with the feeling I get when I'm near you. Do any of you relate to that? It's like, I love the feeling. Some of you love the feeling of being here at Soul Sunday, right? You make time on your week. I'm so honored. You make time in your week to join us and just relax. But you must be getting something out of it because you sure as goodness would not do it otherwise. And Tom Baudet again said, they say a person needs just 3 things to be truly happy. And we've already had that one. I wonder why they repeated it. Love without hope will not survive love without faith. Let's try it again. Love without hope will not survive. Love without faith changes nothing. Love gives power to hope and faith. It's one of the sad things in life when we fall out of love with somebody. We don't trust anymore. We don't hope anymore. And we don't have faith anymore. I'm certain a number of you have been through that. Yesha is saying, I have a lot of health issues, which you all know. I used to wonder, why am I like this? Man, was I wrong, living and thinking about the past? Yes, and you're slowly changing your mindset, and you're doing a wonderful job of it, Nyasha. And I want to tell you, when I first met Jody, and Jody will be the first to tell you that this is true. When I first met Jody, she was dying. She was giving up. She didn't think there was anything more, that she was going to be able to contribute to life. Look at her now. And it doesn't matter that she's in pain. It does matter, of course it matters. But you know what I'm saying? She doesn't have those excuses anymore. She's doing what she can. And that much better for it. And it's not easy, but she just wants to do what she can. Yeah, Jody's saying true story. I was checking out. Oh, I knew that, Jody. I had no doubt about that. It's the same as when I met Beth. My fear was that Beth was checking out in her own way. And so I am very grateful that you guys hung in here. Yes, Jeannie's saying Jody is a fabulous example of strength. Not just of strength, of compassion, of courage, of kindness. You know, Jody is a fabulous human being, as are you all. You know, if you think about it, we all are fabulous people. You know, what happened to us, how we got hurt, how we were misused, abused, mistreated, you know, were the things that happened to us. But the truth is, at our core, I do believe we are all incredible people. Now, I know you're saying there are a few out there, Sal, but you know, they're still learning, right? They are still learning. Give them time. Maybe it won't be in this lifetime. Learn from yesterday. Live for today. Hope for tomorrow. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Yeah. How can I do this better? What can I do? You know, that's the whole thing, is we need to ask ourselves the right questions. It is not about, oh, I'm in so much pain, I can't do anything today. Well, that's not true. You can still breathe, hopefully. You can still smile. Boy, Erin taught me that one. You know, Erin amazed me as I lay next to her, because her smile will light up a room. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Her smile just totally lights up a room. But it was like she was busy. She has the use of one hand, I think. And she was busy talking, and she was busy texting, and she was busy, you know, just living with so little ability that it blew me away. It moved my very soul. And I kept thinking, you know, the world needs more people like Erin to show us all. You know, we just forget how lucky we are. So to me, be grateful for what you have. Because I am pretty certain that Erin would change places with almost everybody in the room if it were possible. She would love to have your legs. She would love to have your back. She would love to be able to move without being helped. She would love to be able to turn over, you know. She would love to be able to brush her hair. So, you know, you look at it and you go, but I bet you Erin is happier than a lot of people. And so all of you, I want you to remember to hang in there and hang on to hope. Yep, she can, Erin's just confirming. She can use her right hand. Yeah. And her brain. And her mouth. I got to experience that. You know, and her eyes sparkle with joy. Her smile lights up the room. And It is just amazing. My greatest sadness is with my loss of hearing. I cannot communicate with her because I cannot hear her properly. But that doesn't stop her making my day regularly. She will send me a text, or she will tell me she's thinking of me or whatever, and it just makes my day. And I am just so grateful. All right, so Emma's asking, how do you stop dwelling on your health and learn to live again? Slowly, one step at a time, Emma. Really, with Jody, Jody will probably tell you herself how she did it, but I know I made a conscious effort that I would take Jody by the hand and lead her back into the best reality we could find for her. And obviously, I needed her help to do that. I needed her to agree to have that courage. And so the thing is don't concentrate on what you can't do because you're sick. Write a daily, have a day timer in which you write, what did you do? Even though you have this, and this going on for you, what did you do? And, give yourself, and what I do is I score myself on a daily basis. Did I, it's little things actually, it's amazing. Little things, it's the simple things that make the difference. Did I go and shower? Is a good question, right? Because if so, my mental health is fine. Did I bother to brush my hair? Did I make my bed? And I've got this whole litany of questions that I ask myself, because I realize it's the little things in life that make you happy. It is the little things in life that keep you going. And, I'm looking at my dining room table, and you know why my dining room table is a mess? I don't have it on my list. I've got to add, this week I'm adding, did I take something off my dining room table? Because, I keep putting things there. I'm bad about doing that. I'm trying to teach myself not to do that. And when I clean up my countertops ready to do a broadcast, and I have to admit that's what I need to do, I put them in a box. And what I've discovered, I don't know if any of you relate to it, I'm really good at having little bits of paper around. I've got to learn a different way. But when you're my age, you need to write things on bits of paper, otherwise you'll never remember it. And part of me goes, is that going to be the end of the world? So, and then the other part of me, I can hear this voice saying, why don't you just put it all in one place? Yeah, that would be clever. But I've got to write it somewhere so I don't. Do any of you relate to this? Somewhere between thinking I really should do da-da-da-da-da and getting to the day timer in which I need to write it, I forget it. Do any of you relate to that? Your hotel suite may be a duo. Explain that one to me, because I'm not quite sure what that means. Nyasha says, do you know, Jody, I never thought about overcoming health that way. This is a great mindset to have. Let me see. Yes, Jody's comment was, celebrate every victory of I was able to, and then fill it in. I was able to get out of bed today. At one point, I was able to get into the washroom and brush my teeth today. Yay. Because you see, Erin can't do that. Erin can't get out of bed. Erin can't go to the washroom and go and brush her teeth. She has to wait for somebody to come and help her. And you see, what I'd like you to do is to go, I need to be grateful for that ability and do it. I won't need to be grateful for the fact I can get into a shower, that I have running water. A lot of people in the world don't. I have running water and I can get into a shower. And so now I have a sort of routine that I'm trying to get into more strictly, which is, I don't get going until I've had 2 cups of coffee. And I've got a new trick. I can't have the second cup of coffee until I've got up, got dressed, and tidied up my bathroom and my bedroom. And I need that second cup of coffee really badly. It'd be amazing how quickly I can get that done when I want my coffee. But you see, it requires the discipline to say, I'm not going to give it to myself until I've tidied up, got dressed, tidied up. Emma's saying, I guess it's finding the motivation. No, don't guess, it's true. I won't be able to do this or that anyway, so what's the point of trying anymore? To let myself down. So this is the whole point. If you think I will never be able to do this anymore, I concentrate on what you can do. So I've noticed that, is your son Luke? Did I get the name right? Yeah. Because, I looked at what you did with Luke outside, and that made my day. So did you do that, or did you have somebody else do that with him? Interesting. Jeannie's saying, our suite would be a disaster if I didn't throw a lot of things away, newspapers, boxes from takeout, etc. Yes, you need to take care of your environment. I always said to people, if you want to know where my mental health is, see what state my house is in. Because, if you're feeling in a good mental space, you will tidy up. If your house is overwhelmed, the chances are you are overwhelmed. Yeah, Emma's saying his dad helped too, but we did it together. Yes, I would say that was a magical achievement day. You got out, you got some fresh air. That's on my list as well. I would write that list actually, Em. Did I get out of bed? Did I do this? Did I shower? Did I, boom, boom, boom. Did I get out and have some fresh air while the summer is still here? Even if it's just for half an hour. Hi, Jonas. Always good to see you, honey. Franklin D. Roosevelt said, we've always held to the hope, the belief, the conviction that there is a better life, a better world beyond the horizon. When I met Jody, I don't think she believed it. I'm pretty certain when I met Jody, if I told her, within a year, you are going to be pulling out your sewing machine, and you are, regardless of your arthritis, regardless of your pain issues, you are going to be making masks for people less fortunate than yourself. She would have probably given me the finger and said, yeah, right, Sal. But or if I'd said to her, not only will you be doing that in a week, making masks, you will be training your husband how to cut them out for you, because you won't be able to cut them out for yourself, but your husband sure can. And by the way, you will also be hunting down the internet to find enough Friday funnies for all the viewers. Yeah, right, Saul. And when I realized that Jody was in so much pain, there's part of me that wanted to say, don't worry about the funnies, I'll do them. But no, you see, my attitude is, Jody's an adult. If she's in too much pain to do it, she'll let me know. But I also know this, that to laugh eases pain. And therefore, I would rather let Jody find the funnies so that she can laugh and feel relaxed. And Jody is saying, Emma, you inspire me every single day. The way you care about our earth, our love for all living things, and the way you love your family and friends, to name but a few. And Jeannie's saying, I'm so proud of Jody's accomplishment, and others, as we are of yours, Jeannie. I want to tell you that it speaks highly of your emotional intelligence, that you have been able to go through the total disaster that you've been through and taken the steps that you have. Really, it speaks volumes to your strength of character. I am certain York is so delighted to have your strength. Right, Jody's saying, I wouldn't have believed you in a million years, Sal. The things I'm doing now. Right. And let us hope the same for Emma. So Emma, dream a little with us, if you will. Within your reality, and don't discount your reality, but within your reality, what is it you would like to accomplish this week? Not, oh, well, I would do it if I didn't. No. Within your reality, what would you like to accomplish this week? What would you like to learn this week? What would you like to do this week for you, not for everybody else? There is a reason why every week I talk about my successes, my failures, my mistakes, my learning, because to me, that means I've had a fruitful week. And I'm going to be doing more of those, where we get everybody to talk about those. All right, so Emma's saying, I want my son to come and snuggle with me this week and not hear him say, we will find a doctor to fix it, Mommy. I don't want to let him down. You can't control what he thinks, Emma. So that is the thing is that a realistic goal? Or do you need to tell him, hey, honey, there probably isn't going to be a doctor to fix this, but we're going to be happy for as long as we possibly can. So maybe you can help change his thinking into that reality. I don't know. He looks like a very smart cookie to me. And yes, she's saying, DearMamaSal is a lifesaver to and for us all. We were all down and out at one point in time, but we were so lucky to have found the broadcast to pull us back from our negative minds. You see, I didn't do it, Niasha, you did. All right. Emma says, I want to be able to play football with him. Is that a doable, Emma? Does anything need to change for you to be able to do that? I mean, could you literally be even seated in a chair and have him use you as the goalie? But you can, you can maybe bat back the ball when it comes to you. Work out how you can play football with him, not how you can't. And Jeannie's saying her mistake. I was sure York had lost my key to his truck until I found it in my pants pocket. Yeah. Did it make you chuckle? All right. So Emma's saying, I'm depressed tonight. I'm just being honest. So I am so glad you're here. By the way, Emma, does being depressed help you? Does it get you anywhere? Because as you've heard me say time and time again, the greatest way to help yourself out of depression is to do something. The pills can only do so much. The way that you deal with life is to do something. Talk to Jody. All right. Jody will tell you that when she learned that one, to stop thinking about what she can't do and find out what she can do. And she has done so much for so many people with that change in mentality. Jeannie's saying, I was getting angry, so I had to apologize a lot. Yeah, I know that feeling. And Emma saying, I fall into a hole. Oh boy, I relate to that. I get back up, the cloud goes away for a while, and it's fine. I'm in a cloud right now, and that's fine. Okay. And that's it's like you can help the cloud move more quickly if you choose to, or you can stay under the cloud. That is your choice, and it's okay, Emma. When you can realize, and Jody, I really encourage you to talk to Jody more about this, because she will tell you how, every day Jody wakes up and decides to live. Every day. Every day Erin wakes up and decides to live. And Emma, I love Emma's honesty. She says, I want to live in the cloud for a few more hours. Yeah. Yeah. If you need that time, I understand that. Just when you're ready, we're here to help you walk out of it for a while. But we'll hold you a little bit accountable, honey. Yeah. Isn't that Jeannie saying our choices make us happy or sad? Yeah. And again, if you live in the past, or if you're trying to work out what the future is, you're not going to be happy. You need to live in the now. What can I do today? I might not be alive tomorrow. What can I do today to make me happy? And I hope you know that, Emma, you have a group of people here that will walk with you every step of the way if you want us to. Or you can stay away and not worry, and not worry about it. But you know that we care. You do know that. And you know that we will be there to let you be who you want to be. And the main thing is really decide how long you want to be in the space you're in. That's your choice. We cannot control that for you. Albert Einstein said, learn from yesterday, live for today, and hope for tomorrow. The important thing is not to stop questioning. So I would start questioning. I give you this homework assignment, Emma. How many ways can you play football with Luke? Okay. Can you sit on the ground and play football with Luke? Yeah, what if you had a tennis racket, and he can fire the football at you and you can just huck it back and he has to go get it? That'll use up a lot of energy. Can you sit in a chair and play football if you can't get on the ground? Think about what you can do. Can you, with help, create an obstacle course for him that shows him that you want to play football with him? Or have him create the obstacle course, but you design it. You see, you can still use your mind. I know that. And so this is like, okay, you've got to dribble the ball around all these things, and then you've got to run full pelt with the ball down here, and then you've got to, come around behind me and then kick it into the goal, which is between those two. I think you can do a lot to help him play football, where you won't have to do a lot if you use that incredible imagination of yours. Is it resonating at all, Emma? And so if you do that, you will have lived your hope. I hope I will be able to play football with him. You can, if you want to. It might not be the way you would like to, but you can play football with him. It was said that hope is important because it can make the present moment less difficult to bear. If we believe that tomorrow will be better, we can bear hardship today. And Jody, I'm not going to do the countdown today, just so that you know I haven't forgotten. I just choose not to do it today. Our human compassion, Nelson Mandela said, binds us to one another, not in pity or patronizingly, but as human beings who have learned how to turn our common suffering into hope for the future. Emma's saying, I helped a friend out through a very hard time in her life, and yesterday she just walked by over literally nothing, just because I didn't fit in her life anymore. That's fine. I understand. But she forgot who helped her. So I am on a rampage. Okay. So Emma, totally get it. Totally understand how hurt you are. I am totally aware of the fact that you would never do that to another human being. But let me tell you this. Jody totally relates to that. And what Jody learned, and maybe you can too, is that you cannot control the other people. And when you judge them to be the nice person that you are, okay, you will just get bitter and resentful. The fact that you help them does not mean that they will help you. Right. Emma's saying, I was feeling bitter and I removed everybody off Facebook who didn't speak to me. Well, that's your choice. But I can remember Doug doing that one time. Doug decided he was not going to phone anybody for a month and to see who cared. Thank goodness I was the first. But Emma, that's it's not fun to know that these people stop talking to you. But it may not be about you. It may be the lives that they're in at the moment. But what I'm saying is, you are a wonderful human being from my experience of you. You are a courageous human being from my experience of you. And you have friends, but they're not going to come knocking at your door. Part of being a friend is reaching out. So my question is, oh, interesting. Emma's saying, I don't care if they care. I just wanted to get the people away. I don't want associates. I want friends. Good. So what does a friend look like to you? All right. Because, it's funny how we all have definition of friendship, but we don't necessarily tell people that. Not them and not her. Yep. Okay. So the thing is that I've got friends that I sometimes don't speak to for a month. But you know something? They know anything happens to them, I'm going to be there in a heartbeat. I know if I need them, I just have to let them know. Yes, Jeannie has that lesson, that when devastation hit, both acquaintances and friends came to help, right? When they knew she was in trouble, acquaintances who probably she hadn't heard of for a long time came to help. They knew she needed help. And the thing is this, if people don't know that you need their friendship, if you're not reaching out to them, and just give that a bit of thought this week, all right? It was a lesson I learned from a chiropractor. And I always remember him telling me, Sal, whatever it is you want from the world, give it. And it was such a simple thing to say. And I went, wow. Really? And I thought about it a lot. And so now, whenever I'm feeling lonely, I go, who do I know who is lonely that I can give friendship to? Whenever I'm feeling misunderstood, I ask myself, who do I know that is also misunderstood at this time? How can I support them? You see, when I turn it around and give back what I need, I end up feeding myself. So when you become a friend, you get friends. But when you isolate, Emma, think about this. When you isolate your friends as well. And so the main thing is keep in touch. And what I would do, Emma, is I would write a list of the people you care about. And instead of waiting for people to talk to you, I would have that list and say, I actually have a list of my friends, and I rotate it all the time going, have I spoken to this person this week, this month, whatever, depending on how often I speak to them. Okay, so Emma's saying, I hear you. Logically, I want to do this, but I tend to burn the world away when stuff happens. I hate that about myself. Then change it, Emma. But step by step, right? We all understand. We've all done it, Emma. You're not alone. You're not that special. I assure you, I've done it. But it doesn't get me what I want. Let me tell you what gets me happy and friends and people that care about me is that I care about other people and I demonstrate that. And so, when I think about this, it's what we give that we receive. It's not, if we're constantly waiting for people to give us stuff, I am certain that Jeannie is getting payback for all the wonderful things she's done for other people. Hi, Polita. We are just finishing the broadcast, honey. So, we've been talking about hope. Emma's saying the topic is don't be like Emma. No, Emma, we love you. And we love you because your honesty and your reality and the fact that you reached out and came and talked to us. We love you for that. You see, that's the stupidity of it, isn't it? But it's like if you're waiting for everybody to come and crawl at your front door and pay homage to you, honey, it ain't gonna happen, right? We have to do something. It is, isn't that the thing about force, right? One action creates another. And so if we don't act, don't expect anybody else to. And, you can say, but I'm always giving and nobody ever returns. Then you're giving to the wrong people, probably, as you were saying. Get new friends. But, we're sending you a hug and lots of love. And understand that every day you just need to say, am I concentrating on what I can do, or am I dwelling on what I can't do? And am I in resentment and anger? And is that helping me? I believe that resentment and anger are what make you sick. That's my belief. And that's why when I first found Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life, I want to tell you there were so many points in there that were so true for me. I lived a life of resentment and anger for quite a while and in deep depression. Didn't help me at all. So Sandy's saying, thank you for this broadcast, Mama Sal. It's very grounding and really needed. Well, I want to tell you, I thank you for being here because it's so lonely when I talk to myself, Sandy. And I am in awe of the fact that you do spend your time, and I thank you for that. I love it that we can talk to people from Trinidad and Tobago to Ireland and back to Vancouver, British Columbia via New Hampshire. I love that we can be this extended family of imperfect people, and that some days Emma's going to be in the cloud, the dark cloud. And some days Erin is going to be in the cloud, and some days Jody is going to be in the cloud, and some days Sal is going to be in the cloud. And what I want you to know is if we all stick together and keep telling our truth. You're in South Texas. Well, there we go. We even get via New Hampshire and Texas. If we all keep telling our truth and do as much as we can, we will be that much better. Emma's saying, my family love me so much, Nyasha. I eat my candy bars in the bathroom. They love me so much. 5 minutes of heaven. Yeah, don't I wish? I'm actually thinking about maybe treating myself to a candy bar soon. I might need to leave the house for that. I want to tell you, Nyasha saying, Sal, this broadcast is everywhere. This is a famous channel. Well, it's amazing, isn't it, Nyasha, that 1.4 million people have viewed Dear Mama Sal now? Isn't that scary? And I was talking to Benji yesterday, and he said, what amazes me is what you have done with a laptop and your cell phone. He said, most people wouldn't dream of doing a broadcast without the right equipment. And he said, you just wanted to help people, Sal. Actually, Mom, he calls me Mom. And I said, yeah, that's all I ever wanted to do, Ben. So thank you if it's helped. And by the way, I'm not such a nice person, really, because you do know that in helping you, I help myself, right? You do get that. You do understand that you give me a reason to get out of bed on Fridays and Sundays. Yeah. And during the week, I am constantly going, oh, that's a good thing to put in the broadcast. And I take notes. Ask Jody. I'm adding. Jody will tell you, I spend all week adding to the Friday skills broadcast. I'm topping it up all the time as I live my week. And so I want to thank you for being honest, for sharing your stories. And what I want you to say is, what can I do? Ask yourself that. What can I do? Jody's learned that. What can I do for somebody else, not for me? Let me stop waiting for people to do things for me. Let me go out and do things for us. I think, with all due respect, isn't that what Christ taught us? For those of you who are biblical people, isn't that what we were told? Right? It's what we do for others that we need to think about. Because the pity party is not going to make you happy. That I do know. And it's sad. I want to tell you something. I want to be able to move like I did when I was 20, but my reality is I can't. I don't want to wake up 3 times in the middle of the night because I have to visit the washroom, but I'm going to live in reality and know that it's my new reality. There's so many things, and if I just embrace it and do the best I can around it, I am going to be happier. And so on this Soul Sunday, I want you to relax. Right? Just relax. Do the best you can, as Erin does, as Jody does, as Jeannie is doing, as Beth does. Right, and Jeannie's saying her future builder said that she is the best Italian sandwich maker. Right? She may not have her kitchen, she may not have her fancy fridge or whatever, but she's still making the best Italian sandwiches in the world. So there you go, doing what she can with what she has. So now what I want you to do is enjoy your week the best way you can. Enjoy your week. Keep notes. So when I ask you on Friday, what achievements did you have this week? You have something to tell me. When I say to you, what mistakes did you make this week, that you can laugh and go, oh, you're going to love this one, Sal. When I ask you, what did you learn this week, that you have an answer? You got curious about learning something. You see, when you take control of your life, you will be happier. This is Dear Mama Sal saying, love you dearly. Remember to look after one another, because we're all going to need to help each other along the way. That's what friends do. But most of all, remember to look after yourself. It is nobody else's responsibility to look after you, except maybe if you happen to be Lauren or Erin or Jody, or people that actually physically need somebody else's help to survive. So do the best you can, people. We can do this. Isabel, I want to take just a moment before I go to give you kudos. I know you sit quietly every week, but you're always there. And I thank you because whenever I start the broadcast and your name comes up, I don't know why, but I always feel better that Isabel is here. And I will never forget the day that you went to New Jersey and you took footage so that Jody could walk the broad walk. I don't think in my lifetime I will ever be able to thank you for that moment of incredible compassion. And so whenever I see your name, I know another wonderful person just joined the broadcast. And I would say the same to Jonas, who comes in, sits quietly, but boy, when he starts to tell his truth or his wisdom, we all gain from it. So this is Dear Mama Sal saying, I am not an island. I don't do this on my own. You are part of Dear Mama Sal. You are what makes the difference. Thank you for that. And if I can remember how to do this the right way, which is very challenging for me for some reason, I will see you on Friday. This is Dear Mama Sal saying bye-bye for now.